On today's video, we're going to give you an inside look at a blacksmithing group forging project that was hosted by the Catskill Maker Camp and ran by our very own Chris Cash of Mount Phillip Metalworks and Steve House from Moonshine Metalworks. This video is super fun and I don't want to do any ad breaks, so before we get into it, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Incogni. Now in the past, I told you guys numerous different ways to try and protect yourself while you're browsing and using the internet, such as VPNs, antiviruses, and the like. However, what happens if your information is already out there? How do you get rid of it? Now for me, I've always considered myself to be quite the safe practitioner on the internet. Whether I'm doing online banking, online purchases, or even uploading a video like this to YouTube, I've always tried to make sure that I'm using the proper software, antiviruses, VPNs, whatever it is, to make sure that my information is secure. And that's why it was a major surprise to me the very first time that I logged on Incogni, used their unique search abilities, searched my name, I saw that my information was most certainly not secure. And with one simple click, I was able to get rid of some of my information and left me feeling much more secure. You see, this day and age is much different. Back in the day, we used to think of being vulnerable on the internet meant a hacker got into your information, or you clicked a virus and people got access to your stuff. However, today's vulnerabilities are much different. All you have to do is make one online purchase, do one search engine search, perhaps sign up for one event that you attend. All you have to do is give one person your information, and all of a sudden that database is created and can be sold and delivered out to so many people, and your information is now leaked. And that's why I'm going to encourage you all today to give Incogni a try. And the first 100 of you that go to incogni.com/thatworks and use the promo code thatworks, you're going to get 20% off your purchase. And that's going to allow you to fight back and take your personal data off the open market. One of the data breaches that I found on myself personally came from me just signing up for a loyalty card at a place that I frequently shop. And the next thing I knew, I was getting emails from other places that I had never shopped, and I was super confused. One click, one search on Incogni, I found that data and was able to take it back. And so can you, by going to the link in the description below, incogni.com/thatworks, use the promo code thatworks, and you're gonna save 20% if you're one of the first 100 people to click that link. And even if you're not, Incogni is well worth the money. They're gonna protect your data, keep you safe, and you can go back to feeling safe once again by knowing that you now control your own personal data once again.
So for this group project, it was actually open to all skill levels. So it went all the way from beginner, intermediate to advanced. So what I had to do was take that into account for both the design of the project and how we went about making it. So there's two major components to this fire pit build. One is the artistic element, which we're going to be making out of the 1/4 by 1 inch flat bar. The other portion is the structural element, which we're going to be creating from a 3/8 by 6 inch wide flat bar. So these flat bars are actually going to be these fern-like elements that are going to go around the outside of the perimeter of the fire pit. I haven't actually finalized the design, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, I've made these pieces at home before. I've practiced them a lot. I really enjoy the process. I really enjoy the texture that it leaves behind, and that's something that we're going to be implementing into this workshop. So one of the fun things about teaching this free form kind of open workshop is that I'll come up with a general idea of what I want something to look like, and then I'll leave it up to the students to come up with the rest of the design elements, the layout, the way things should look aesthetically, and just let them pretty much roll with it. So I had one of my friends fly all the way over from the United Kingdom to help me out with this Group Forge project. And that would be Steve House from the legendary Moonshine Metalworks. So to get things started off, Steve is actually going to teach people how to taper flat bar efficiently.
So Chris asked me to show the students how to do tapers. It's something that's a very simple part of a project. It's a very simple task to do, but it's something that's integral to almost every single blacksmithing project out there. It's a really, really good place to start because with every project generally starts with some kind of taper, whether it's just even drawing down your stock or creating an actual point on it. So it can be quite difficult as a blacksmith to show someone how to do something that is so second nature to us. It's not something that we generally think about. It's just muscle memory in moving that steel. So you have to stop and really put yourself in the position of this student that may never have even seen a taper, let alone actually made one. So once everyone was comfortable with the basic process behind how to create this taper, I just set everyone to task doing it because there was a bunch of them that needed making. I think in total everyone did at least 5 tapers. A few people did a few more. So once we had them done, it was time to add the texture.
So the community aspect of this entire project is what does it for me. The passion and the drive that I have towards blacksmithing and metalworking, I want to be able to share that with multiple people around the world, and events like this make that happen. As we texture and taper these long flat bars in these gas forges, outside we have an available coal forge that we'll be using to heat up those big 6-inch wide legs, where we'll begin to hand fuller them and kind of give the legs this fishtail appearance. So the overall scale of this project, again, I wanted to incorporate all skill levels within this project. So we may have bitten off a little more than we could chew here. This is a 6-foot diameter ring, along with a 5/8 thick base plate for where the logs and the fire will be. So this isn't your grandpa's fire pit. This is a giant fire pit. We're gonna be putting pallets in here, beer cases, and who knows what else here at the Blackthorn Resort. So if you're unfamiliar with what Maker Camp is, Maker Camp started out as one big event and has now branched off to many events throughout the year. We have blacksmithing events, we have woodworking events. It's just a great, great community up here. I encourage each and every one of you to get involved, come learn a new skill, meet some new people, and have a great time.
Teaching is actually how I got into blacksmithing. I started off as a teaching assistant. It was a brilliant way to learn the craft. I think that by having to stop and explain all of this stuff, it really helps cement it in your head as to how to actually do it. So yeah, it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's really important to me to be able to share this craft with other people.
All these events, the blacksmithing events, the woodworking events, they all take place at the amazing Blackthorn Resort right in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains. It's a beautiful location, a unique experience to say the least. The people that attend these events come from all over the world. It makes for such a great experience.
I actually met Chris at a similar event up in upstate New York. Not actually at the Blackthorn, but at Jimmy DeResta's place. So it's really nice being able to go back up there and work with him again on something like this. These kind of projects are always really good fun, especially when you have things like the smith and striking going on, because it means that people really make a connection, and working together helps kind of solidify those friendships and bonds. So at something like this, you're always going to walk away with more friends than you started with.
With this workshop, one of the things I really wanted to hit home was that blacksmithing is all about mechanical joinery. Welders weren't really readily available back in the day, so a lot of the elements along with the structural components of this fire pit are all going to be hot riveted on.
I'm actually back in the States at the moment, getting ready to go up to Maker Camp this weekend, so hopefully I'll see you guys up there.
So if you only take one thing from this video, I want it to be the community aspect of this entire project. I encourage you to go out there, find a guild, find somebody who has similar interests in you, and build that community within your space.
So with the scale of a project like this, we knew that we were going to need a variety of different bends and curves in these fern elements. So we started off getting the students to bend them in the forge, getting some bent this way, some bent that way, to various angles and degrees. So when it comes to the final assembly, we can put them on and do any tweaking that we need to do with a torch to get the shape just right. Although there was a blizzard outside and there was a couple of feet of snow at one point, everyone was working really hard to try and keep themselves warm. Well, not everyone was working really hard.
So almost the entirety of this fire pit with the exception of the main plate where the wood will go, is all riveted together. You see here some of the students are helping each other out, holding rivets, while the other one holds a back plate, such as this large sledgehammer, while another one strikes the rivet to tighten everything together. So one of the real amazing things about this fire pit project and this workshop in general, all the people involved, is that each and every time they come back to the Blackthorn, this fire pit will be here. We will sit around this fire pit, make memories with each other. They'll know that they had a part in making this amazing fire pit.
This was such an amazing weekend and a great project. I got to meet so many really great people that I'll never forget. Although I was behind the camera most of the time, I feel like I was a part of it too. This entire group should be very proud of their accomplishments, and it's something that will live on for a very long time here at the Blackthorn Resort. For more information on this amazing event, be sure to go to the CatskillMountainMakerCamp.com, and we hope to see you guys there October 7th through the 10th, 2022.